Yo, 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 yo. We're back. We're back. We are back. Guys, as you walk in, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KR Culture Radio. Hakeem, Jordan, what's cracking like in? What's cracking like in? What is cracking like in?
All motion.
Yeah, man, almost. We are here. It's Wednesday. It's another good day. We got a lot of topics to go to as we always do. So kick it with the fellas. So let's go. Let's go. Let's get it.
Like always, shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. It's so very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. And you already know, shout out to those right now watching us on Bingo Live and also TikTok. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this lovely Wednesday evening. Moving along to sports. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to aspect of sports news, big dog?
Let's get it. Let's talk about some NFL. Let's, as we know, training camp has started, and we're gonna go over to the Cleveland Browns. So the owner of the Cleveland Browns has come out to talk about the Shador Sanders pick because we seen that in the NFL draft, even though he was supposed to, we all assumed that he was going to be picked in the first round. He was picked the number 5th pick from the Cleveland Browns, even though they picked another quarterback in the 3rd round, where they are competing right now. So NFL owner, he's coming in, kind of set it straight and everything. But while we listen to it, you kind of get mixed reviews as if he was the one really wanted to pick Shador, or was it the GM or the coach and everything. But we do have a clip for you guys. So go ahead, I can play the clip of the Cleveland Browns owner, and then after that, we'll chop it up.
If you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shador, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shador. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call. If you'd have told me.
Yeah, so that was the owner. So he was saying, over the first day, the Thursday night of picking, never thought his mind or the team mind they would draft Shador Sanders. But on the 3rd day, I don't know, there was in talks, even though they are drafted the quarterback, they picked Shador Sanders, and right now he's currently the 4th string, trying to work his way up to the NFL season. So when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, we don't know if they really want to pick her or not, but it's how he was sounded. But we will see what we talk about it. So go ahead, Mommy, man. What's your take on the owner about him not thinking about picking Shador, but actually getting Shador, and now they got Shador, and now he's in the training camp?
No, but it's just like I always tell people, it's too early to call. Remember, it's just the practice squad, and the Browns not really gonna speak about when it comes to aspect of Shador Sanders. Why did they pick him last? But at the end of the day, everybody gonna want to know if the Browns gonna be able to take Shador Sanders to the next level, so he'll be able to capitalize. Shout out to Mr. Beans that's in the building. So when we see stuff like that, when it comes to Shador Sanders, I'm just waiting to see him play in preseason. Is he gonna come and show out and to see did Brown made a mistake by picking him last, or he's just going to underperform, and then we would say, okay, this is why the Browns pick him last because he doesn't really fit the criteria yet. But at the end of the day, everybody's going to be watching out for him in this upcoming season, especially on the preseason. But let's see how things go. But of course, they're not going to comment on it because remember, it was a huge thing when it came to aspect of the draft this year. Go right ahead, again.
So I'm I'm the same thing with what you guys say. I want to see if he's going to come to work, show out, and produce. But I'm also a little bit worried. They already got their star quarterback. I think his publicity has gave him some trouble. I think he's a good player. I think he's ready. You know what I mean? I'm wondering what, these NFL managers and stuff, they don't like so much publicity if they're not the one driving it. So I think he is a force of nature of his own, and I think they don't like that. I think that it's going to be a media circus, and that's what their biggest issue is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not he's in good players. His stat speaks for itself. I believe I'm about to be reaching now. I'm not saying this because his father's from Florida. I think Shador is a Hall of Famer quarterback.
Okay. With me, the owner, how he was saying it and everything, it's like because of the of him of wanting him to get a Deshaun Watson a few years back, and also sign him that big 200, I think it was a $240 million deal, fully guaranteed and everything. And then like 3 years later, it turns out that was a fail. That was probably one of the worst trades in NFL history. Now they're looking for quarterbacks. Looking for they signed Joe Flacco, they signed Kenny Pickett. They drafted, I think, Gabriel, and then now they drafted Shador Sanders and everything. So I think, for this training camp, we're gonna see, how many reps Shador Sanders is gonna get, once the preseason wings in and wings out and everything. So I just feels like, with Cleveland right now, they just juggling the quarterback, see what they can get. Oh, and then if they lose so many games, let's say they get the top 2 or 3 pick next year and everything. That's other really good prospect quarterbacks coming out from next year's draft. I think it's Archie Manning, and then I forgot the quarterback name from Clemson too. I think he's going to join the draft as well and everything. So to me, it's up to Shador, and I think Shador. I think when it comes to Shador, I think how I see his talent. I think his talent is better than all 3 quarterbacks that they got at Cleveland. And hopefully he'll get the chance later on this season that he can show his talent, and that, and the Cleveland fans, they believe in him and everything, and that he could show it and everything, because out of all the quarterbacks that were drafted, this previous draft, we're not hearing any name that pops up other than Shador Sanders. Even Cam Ward, he's a number 1 pick, but we're not talking about Cam Ward like that. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Shador, because how much he fought in the draft, and also how we believe of good of a quarterback he is, and he should be drafted in the first round. So hopefully he'll get that chance at Cleveland and he'll ball out.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody that's here watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for coming through on this lovely Wednesday evening. Of course, shout out to Mr. Beans that's in the building. Shout out to him, and shout out to also the 24 people watching us right now all across the board, and also shout out to the 70 people right now watching us on Bingo Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this lovely Wednesday evening. Moving along to money. Money make the world go round. Money makes our pockets fat. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to aspect of financial news, big dog?
Let's talk about it. Let's get to this economy. So according to the Q2, when it comes to the economy in America, they said when it comes to Fox Business, they said the economy has economy from the Q2 when it comes to our economics has rose for 3%. We had talked about this before, how some people thought the economy was going to crash with these tariffs and everything rising up and everything, but according to this past second quarter, the economy has went up by 3%. So we do have a clip for you guys. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
To incorporate crypto?
Yeah, well, we saw in the Genius Act and how it's going to facilitate payment in stablecoin, which will increase the demand for treasuries, potentially expand that market, the stablecoin market, which is already growing exponentially further, significantly from around a few $100 billion to perhaps in the trillions, as Secretary Besson has mentioned. So it creates demand for U.S. assets. It makes use of all these new technologies. Treasury certainly is highly supportive of these acts led by President Trump's leadership. And as Congressman Emmerich had just said before, I mean, it's a totally different world. We've got this great technology. We have this innovation. And President Trump wants us to be at the forefront of this new innovative approach, and it's great news.
3% growth on an annualized basis, just reported for the second quarter. 3% growth. That is better than expected. It's stronger than expected. So where's the recession and where's the impact of tariffs? I don't see it in that report. Do you?
No, Stu, I don't see it. I mean, the tariffs have been generating a tremendous amount of revenue. We've got record readings in July. We could be upwards of $300 billion in revenues for the year. Even the CBO, which has very pessimistic forecasts, they think GDP isn't even going to grow 2%. Even the CBO thinks we could generate about $3 trillion in revenues over the next decade. So we've got the revenues. The inflation is de minimis. We saw a big recovery in growth in the second quarter, powered by a couple areas. One is a real improvement in the trade deficit. It shrunk. We expect that to continue given all the trade deals that the president has put forward. And this CapEx comeback, capital spending grew 5% in the quarter. It's grown at its fastest pace since the second half of 2011. I wouldn't be surprised if those numbers actually get revised up to show an even bigger boom. But now that we've got the one big beautiful bill, all the capital expenditures, all the investment in the economy should continue and really kick into gear this half.
I've been asking, will we get 3% growth in the fourth quarter of this year? Well, it looks like we've got 3% growth in the second quarter of this year. So project forward, could we get 4 or even better than that? 4% growth, fourth quarter this year? What do you think?
That would be great. I mean, in President Trump's first 3 years, growth was nearly 3%. And in that 2019 year, before the pandemic struck, growth was running at almost 3.5. So we certainly could generate 3% type growth. We already did it in the second quarter with productivity improving dramatically. It happened under President Trump and all these new innovations. At the outset, we talked about crypto. It's going to increase financial efficiencies. There's no reason why we can't grow much faster than what we've been growing at over the previous 4 years. 4% would be great, but I think 3% is a good number, too.
Treasury Secretary Bessent says we could bring in this year $300 billion. That's income from tariffs. Were tariffs always designed as a moneymaker, or did that just come with the territory once we've imposed them?
No, I mean, they could bring in revenues. I think the point of President Trump's trade policy is to level the playing field. He wants foreign capital to come in. We're seeing it with all these trade deals, the most recent being the EU. Last week was Japan. Significant commitment to the U.S. markets. The tariffs certainly are an incentive to do that. Ideally, you want more U.S. production, high value-added manufacturing that's going to lift wages, improve living standards. And in the meantime, tariffs are raising a significant amount of revenue. So everything kind of works together. And as designed and as the administration has said, tariffs are not inflationary, and we're seeing that.
Okay. Joe Lavoie.
Yeah, so there you have it. Like I said, at quarter two, we see an increase of the economy growth. And then, right now we're in the third quarter, and, with the tariffs and everything, we see a more improvement when it comes to the economy growth. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take on the economy growing 3%?
Yeah, the economy is going to do well right now because Trump continued to make a negotiation when it comes to aspect of the trade deals and also the tariffs. As you can see, he made a great agreement with the UK when it came to the tariffs. That we're pretty much they're going to be getting a lot of goods from us, which is going to increase which is going to pretty much increase our profit, and it's going to bring money back into the U.S. economy. So that's the whole thing is all about. People voted Trump in. I told people for the number one thing was to fix the economy. Under the old administration, the economy was tanking, but under this new administration team, that's what we'll put Trump in the office for, is to make sure to get the economy back in order. And as you can see, he's trying to get the economy back in order, which one of the things he made during his campaign. So shout out for him for doing that. And Hakeem, what's your take on this aspect of the economy pretty much getting back into shape?
Ron, you hit it so well. I can only just add an icing on it. He's giving us what he guaranteed in his presidential run. Immigration is down. The wall is going up. The big beautiful bill just gave $500 million to border crossing. The economy is at where it's supposed to. He's using tariffs the way tariffs was used 100 years ago. when America was at its peakest and at its richest. The American citizens back then wasn't being taxed because everything was paying to tariffs. No business and keep smart people around you. Go get his book, The Art of the Deal. He's proving everything that he's been talking in his books and stuff like that. And we're about to see an economy like we've never seen before.
Yeah, as this seeing this these economy boosts in the second quarter. You know, I'm very anxious to see how the third quarter goes as of how, you know, with the tariffs. You know, I think, you know, he's worked with the tariffs of India. I believe Trump is as well. So I'm just hoping about the third and also the fourth quarter. You know, once these tariffs get done with how many countries that we sign tariffs for and everything. It just want to see the effects of how it affects our economy with the growth and everything for quarter three and quarter four and everything. So, like I said, it's still a slow process and everything, you know, when it comes to the economy and everything. So, like I said, Trump has not been in the office for a year yet. So, for me, it's just, you know, keep watching how, the next to the end of this year, how we might see the tariffs go full effect, and also maybe also the comes to the inflation. Is it going to increase to ease down some more as well? So if that's the case, you know, it will be a good start of his first year. Well, his first year as a president, and then let's just see if he keep on improving when it comes to the economy.
Now, but shout out to a new subscriber, Weston Rapley. He said it's not foreign capital when we pay the tariffs. You code, which I agree. So that I'm saying we're going in the right direction. If Trump continue to do what he's doing, he might be the president that be able to fix this economy. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Moving along, hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to aspect of hip hop news, big dog?
Let's get into it. Let's talk about the rapper The Game. So The Game, he was supposedly, you know, jogging through his workout, doing his morning workout, and police pulled him over because I guess the police was asking him a question about seeing the suspect and everything. I don't know. And the thing, the reason The Game, he kind of put out his phone and everything because he believes, you know, because of size and his color of his skin and everything, of what the police are trying. The police are trying to find a suspect. They asked The Game about a if they see a suspect around. And the game, he felt some type of way about it, and he talked to the police officer about it. So we do have the clips. So go ahead, Akeem, play the clip. Then after that, we'll chop it up.
The rapper?
Yeah. So what I was saying is that I don't understand what we have to do to find a middle ground with things that just aren't.
You talking about like, police officers or just humanity?
Police officers and humans in general. Like, we have to find a middle ground so that, and I don't know if it's on the top of the chain, in the middle, or on ground level with me and you. But we got to get to a point where, when there's an APB out on someone, that we kind of exactly look at what it is and not pull over random people. I'm not white or Mexican, bro. I'm clearly not.
No, I hear you, and that goes either way. Mexican could. Right. I'm not going to get
into that with you. No offense to any whites or Mexicans. You're white. I'm black. I love Mexicans. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but in a situation like this, and again, it's not a crime. It's just somebody was in the roadway flinging knives around. Obviously, I don't see you holding knives or anything like that. We're in a dark hoodie.
Right.
In this general location, airships up there. They say possible suspect. So I just pull over, I talk to you, I'm not seeing any knives, we're having a conversation, and that's it. So I agree with you, it starts at base level, which is
I wear my hoodie because I don't want to be bothered while I'm jogging.
No, yeah, and you don't have to explain to me why you're wearing a hoodie. I'm just explaining to you, so if something's occurring, a crime or some kind of mental illness, and it kind of meets the suspect, subject, description, whatever you want to call it, then we're just going to interact, do a quick assessment, obviously it's not you, and then you just move on.
All right, cool, man.
All right.
You have a good day, guys.
You too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pass to you, Ronnie. Do you feel The Game was right what he was saying about when he's wearing a hoodie, the cops is automatically gonna stop him or look over a suspect, or do you think he took it too far?
No, I think I like the dialogue between The Game and the police. the police officer. I think this is a great dialogue. I think everybody should have with the officer because there's a lot of questions when it comes to aspect of black man and the police for him to ask when it comes to aspect of a hoodie. Of course, the police gonna stop because they're gonna be like, okay, this guy looks suspicious, look like he's about to do some form of harm within the community. So that's why Game went ahead and asked the question because those are questions that a lot of black men in America always want to ask the officer. So I like the interaction between them two, and I think we need to see more interaction between black male and the police officer so we can finally get a thin line of respect that we've been looking for a very, very long time. But we got to have this type of conversation, even though it might be uncomfortable and difficult. Let's go ahead and have it. And I'm glad that the game was able to do so. Go right ahead, King.
I thought this was unnecessary. I felt this was clout chasing. There's certain interactions I get that needs to be recorded, things that are not. We can clearly see that the police officer was very nice and very conversational. Not all police officers are bad. I'm not saying they're not rotten apples. He was very calm in his demeanor. He said, "Ain't you that rapper?" He has to ask a question. And sometimes you have to exclude all possible leads. Him saying that where can we meet a middle ground? A question is a question. A question is just a question. I done sat in the car and the police say, "Hey, you see anybody run over here?" I'll say, "No, not really." Sometimes you get somebody to mess it up. Sometimes you don't. But why record the interaction? I wonder if this was trying to be a viral moment because it didn't go left. The guy's demeanor was so calm. So this is why I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with you on this. He could have this conversation without, showing on camera and posting it and everything. Because I agree, he was trying to me, he was trying to do a viral moment. We see that, when he, with the blogs, like when he posts something and everything, on his page, the blogs, try to get in and ask questions and everything. A lot of people are not liking it about stuff when it comes to women and everything. So for me, the game was right what he does, right what he was talking to the officer about talking, but when it comes to him recording it, I think that was a little bit too far because, to me, it's like, it's trying to show yourself like the cops, the police here in LA, if they see you wearing a hoodie, if you put the top stuff, they're gonna stop you and everything. That's not absolutely true, but that's not absolutely true. If there's a suspect that's around wearing a hoodie, and he might be in the area and he sees somebody that might not be the game where somebody else say, "Hey, you seen somebody?" And you can say no and walk your way and everything, But to me, I think it was a little bit too far that he had to record it. He did what he did right, but to me, when he recorded it, that was a little bit too far.
No, but I don't think to me, it's a conversation that need to be had. So I think it was good for him to record it. I would have recorded the same thing too. Especially if you're a high-profile rapper like himself. Yeah, record it. Because right now people are uncomfortable when it comes to aspect of the law enforcement. So these type of conversations is good to be had, I think. And I think we need more of it. I think people need to record more of their interaction with cops. Because that's the only way things will stop because the left media is going to take it and they're going to run with it. And they be like, police are dangerous. You can't have conversation with them. They're coming to destroy. So I think he's starting something that's going to be probably a new trend. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this lovely Wednesday evening. Man, we got a lot of things to talk about. But first, Jordan, what's going on with Gilbert Arenas?
It's all good. But yeah, shocking news come out today about Gilbert Arenas. Very shocking news. So if you guys don't know, Gilbert Arenas was arrested today for allegedly running an illegal gambling business inside his casino mansion home. So Gilbert Arenas and 5 other people was indicted today of illegal gambling business from 2021 and 2022. And with these charges, he could face up to 5 years in prison. So we do have a little clip. Hakeem, go ahead and play a clip. And after that, we'll chop it up. We'll give her Arenas.
News having just learned former NBA star Gilbert Arenas has been arrested. He and 5 others are accused of operating an illegal gambling business. The Department of Justice says they had high-stakes poker games at Arenas' Encino mansion. Arenas is charged with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. He's expected to appear in court this afternoon in downtown L.A. We will continue to follow this story throughout the day here on Eyewitness News.
Yeah, so right now, surprising, the shocking news of Gilbert Arenas. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because, he has a podcast and everything. He's doing so well, but now he's in trouble with, with the law. So go ahead, Ronnie, what's your take about Gilbert Arenas getting arrested with the charges?
The thing about Gilbert Arenas, what really shocked me is how did the feds knew? My thing is one of the poker players that he had brought into his mansion was probably was a fed or was an informant and went and told the fed what exactly was going on, and that's how he got caught. To me, there's nothing wrong going to have your own poker game because everybody was in the comment like, hey, how he's being charged and he's having a poker game at his own home. However, but I think they was doing something outside of that. And because they say he was hiring like young women, but to me, it's a guy's night out, having fun at a poker game. But it's certain things. I think he went against California law when it comes to the aspect of the poker game, and that's why he's being charged federally. And like Jordan stated, he could face up to 5 years in prison, and he just got married to Melly Marco. So it doesn't look good for Gilbert Arenas, man. His spokesperson has not spoke on it yet, but it's just very, very sad what's going on with him. Go ahead, Akin.
I always wondered when these guys get into trouble, is it a money issue? Because I'm wondering, like, why would you even divulge yourself in these type of activities? Anything you do as a normal person, as a superstar, can lead your ass in jail. So this just to me didn't make sense. And I'll end it right there.
Yeah, for me, so the neighborhood he's in is in Encino, which is a really, really nice luxury $1 million neighborhood, which is in the valley and everything. So, if you're doing this for over 2 years now, you have, women, security, they say they have valet and chefs and everything. There's a lot of neighbors, they do be poking their nose and doing neighborhood watches, and they do see what's up and everything. So, it could be maybe neighbors probably would tip them. Could be the women probably tip something, anything like that, because they be following this for for a very long time and everything. So, I'm guessing they got a hold of it. They must have got a hold of it. If it's a federal charge, they definitely got a hold of his records and everything. And also when it comes to California, when it comes to gambling, they definitely take it very, very seriously when it comes to gambling because, if you do want to gamble, we have Nevada, which is Vegas, which is like 4 hours away from here. So you do want to gamble, California, they do say, hey, gamble all you want in Nevada, but when it comes to here in California, they take it very, very seriously when it comes to you gambling here in California and everything. So I was very, very surprised by this, that Gilbert was doing something like this. I know that, certain, athletes that have a big ego when it comes to cash and everything, I want to play for it. And I never know that Gilbert Arenas maybe have that ego that, hey, I bet you on this, I bet you on that. And a lot of these athletes do, especially some retired athletes, and they, when they have so much money and everything, they talk and everything, because we see on the show all the time with Gilbert Arenas how, him and the other former NBA analysts, they go at it sometimes, they bark and everything, and they do have their ego, and I see that when it comes to him doing this illegal gambling business, I felt like he had that type of ego he could do this, which he did for these 2 years, and for some reason, well, not for some reason, but somebody had spoke about it, and they did an investigation about it, and he got caught what he was doing, and right now it looks bad for him because he has a very successful podcast, Gil Arenas and everything. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if Yeah, I don't know how his podcast gonna work and everything, because I like I said, they're not gonna do it anytime soon and everything. So to me, when it comes to this, he kind of messed with reputation. When it comes to the podcast, we'll see about that. But yeah, man, if this is true, if he can't, and if he can't prove his guilty, man, he kind of messed up, with him, his kids, and also his business people that he worked with as well. Because you know, I thought Gil Arenas, he was doing a good job with his podcast and that, but now learning this, it looks bad for him right now.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Moving along to other trending news. Jordan, what's going on with Donald Trump and P. Diddy?
Yeah, so we found out yesterday that when it comes to Donald Trump, even though Diddy, he's we still waiting for waiting for his see who the sentence and everything. Donald Trump is now seriously considering giving Diddy a full pardon ahead of the sentences, according to his administration. So his administration has been following the Diddy trial and everything, and it's likely, it depends on if Diddy, how long Diddy gets sentenced, or a low sentence, that Donald Trump will fully pardon P. Diddy if once the deadline comes by. So wow, that's definitely some news right here. So after hearing this news, Ronnie, man, what's your take on this?
I knew it was coming. Me and my brother was having a conversation about that. Shout out to DJ Tron. We was having like a deep conversation about how P. Diddy and Donald Trump had relationships a long time ago. They remember they linked up, they partied together, they did events together. So it kind of made sense. And remember, President Trump stated if P. Diddy is treated unfairly, he would consider pardoning him. So I knew this was a game changer. That's why I say P. Diddy right now, he can sit back, relax at his jail cell, because he's going to pretty much be coming home. So if he doesn't get a bail, and it said sentencing date is October 3rd. If he's sentenced, pretty much Donald Trump's gonna pardon him. I see that's coming. Even though the White House not had yet confirmed on any comment being made, but Trump gonna get him out. Go right ahead, again.
I'm with you, brothers. I honestly say that he has been locked up for no reason. And I'm wondering, like, we need to get him out of there. And he beat majority of his cases. He's the only person I know that's in jail for hiring male prostitutes. Only person. Only person. And he didn't hire them himself directly. I'm just so surprised in the name I'm not going to mention, how she has no accountability in this, or she wasn't involved. So he just take the full blunt of this responsibility. So justice for Diddy, the diddler.
Yeah, I have talked about this before about a podcast about what if Donald Trump actually pardoned Diddy if he was fully guilty and he put a pardon, and now it's likely that it will happen. And do I think it will happen? I think it will happen. Because of showing his innocence of him being the Rico and everything, and also Diddy. I not Diddy, but I think Donald Trump, when it comes to this case and everything, he really looks at it. He could just say that Diddy really didn't do nothing wrong, and he can fully pardon him and everything. He like Hakeem said, he has been in jail for too long for stuff in the innocence of him just hiring male prostitutes and everything. And like I said, he beat the Rico. And for me, I think once he was found innocent, when it comes to the Rico charge of racketeering and everything, to me, the judge should have put out the bail and everything. He should have got bail and be with his family until he got sentenced and everything. So I believe, the time that he's serving right now towards his sentencing, I think that's to me, that's enough of him being in jail for the suspected crime that he was guilty of. And then Donald Trump, he could just let him go, say, hey, you do anything wrong, go ahead and be with your family. do what you do. Free Diddy.
Yep. But let's see what happens. Sentence date is October 3rd, so we're gonna wait on that. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. One person right now on TikTok asked us a question today. How do you guys feel about black male and white women? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about right now. So, Jordan, what's going on when it comes to aspect of Shannon Sharpe being let go by ESPN? The main topic on today's show.
Yeah, so breaking news, y'all. Shannon Sharpe was supposedly let go from ESPN weeks before the trial came out. And we have talked about this. If once he settled the case and everything, he'll see him return to ESPN. And we found out that he will be not, which will cost him a bag. And right now, when it comes to Shannon Sharpe, when it comes to him be with another major network and everything, a lot of people think that he's done, because he was before with ESPN, he was with FS1, and before FS1, he was with CBS, and he kind of got the same thing about getting a booting on of getting let go. And right now, it doesn't look good for Shannon Sharpe, even though he has podcasts and everything. His reputation is hurt, and when it comes to him being on national television, I think that might be the last time we might see him. But I want to hear from you guys. So, what's your take?
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed at ESPN letting Shannon Sharpe go. And I don't know about shout out to Tasha K, because Tasha K was the one that reported first that Shannon Sharpe got fired, and everybody denied her rumors and saying, "Oh, what she saying was the truth." And then now we find out that ESPN let him go. So think about it. Shannon Sharpe lost undisputed. Now he lost ESPN, which was one of his biggest endorsement deal, which was like $100 million over Hakeem and Jordan, over a white OnlyFans woman. He lost everything that fast. He lost his endorsements with Bruce Mober and also DraftKings on the nightcap. Shannon Sharpe been taking L's after L's after L's after L's after L's. So one of the questions that was asked over there on TikTok was, how do I feel about black men and white women? To me, like Umar said it the best. Black men shouldn't be with white women. Leave that thing alone. Because as you can see, it's bringing us more harm than good. It doesn't look good for Shannon Sharpe. I'm just curious how you're going to bounce back from it. But ESPN was one of his biggest endorsements. So $100 million, guys, just went down the drain that fast. Go ahead, Hakeem.
When in the corporate world, you're held to a status, a moral status that you have to keep. And if you can't maintain that, you will be removed. Any allegations, any accusations, or even if it's not true, you got to ride a clean slate. What happened to him, he deserved it. Let me tell you why. Your big grown ass at this age, at 50, who is my senior, should not be getting caught up like that. She took half of your wealth. You're 57. She took $23 million. You're worth 50. Half of your wealth. Half of your wealth. Same thing what happened to Daryl Strawberry and all these other goofies who deal with snow bunnies. Sexual deviancy is the issue in our community. Pastors, ball players, rappers, you name it, they go through it. Transfer of wealth is so easy. You might as well just get a white girl the money. You're going to lose it anyway, but you want to feel the tightness first. So I don't feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for his kids. I feel sorry for his grandchildren. That wealth was supposed to, the Sharpe name was supposed to go on for generations. They were supposed to be the new Rothschilds. With 50 million in the next 100 years managed right, with interest rate can turn to $1 billion. he did. You know what I mean? He did us dirty.
Yeah, man. It's the thing is with Shannon Sharpe. I remember when we first saw him with Undisputed. When he came to Undisputed, with Skip Bayless and everything. He was like the star of the show. He was bringing the Skip and everything. And I just felt like once he left, once he got let go of FS1, and then he started his podcast and everything, and then he did the Cat Williams interview, which is the number one view interview and all YouTube and everything. And now he did Nightcap with ESPN. I don't know if you guys saw, but you saw Shannon Sharpe gain a little bit more arrogance. Instead of being more humble, he got a little arrogant. When it comes to arrogance, he thought he could do what he wanted to do, and him mess with at the time the 19-year-old woman, OnlyFans chick, and think hey, I can do what I want to do. I got the money. He said and he said this on Nightcap. He said, you know what? People say you should date your age. He said, I'm gonna date my ways. I'm gonna date, if my pocket's fat, I'm gonna do anything I want to do. And at the end of the day, he got us with this woman. They did some things, and the woman to me, the woman was smart enough. She recorded Shannon Sharpe about her, Shannon Sharpe doing some things towards her and everything, and took it to Tony Busby and said, hey. He did this, how much I could get for this for Shannon Sharpe, how much we could get for him. And after that, the lawsuit came out at the verge of him signing a $100 million podcast deal. It's like when Shannon Sharpe was building himself and everything, got some more arrogance, not really watching himself and having discipline for himself, he fumbled the bag again. And it's just sad to see that, he fumbled the bag of getting endorsement deals. He fumbled the bag with ESPN. And the thing is, it's like now I feel like with Shannon Sharpe, he was going up the tier. Now we're gonna see him keep going down the tier and everything because how bad his reputation is and everything. Like I said, I don't think when it comes to any sports national channels, I think he's done because his reputation is really done with that. Podcast, I think he do very, very well, but I just feel like people. I just feel like fellas, I just feel like when it comes to podcasts and when people think about Shannon Sharpe, I just think like he's gonna go down the hill just a little bit and everything. I feel bad for, and the thing is, I feel bad for Chad, his partner on Nightcap because Chad had nothing to do with when it comes to this, losing losing money when it comes to endorsement deals, when it comes on a podcast and everything. Like I said, I think Shannon Sharpe, his reputation is done. It's just like I said, I really looked up at Shannon Sharpe because like I said, he's still a really good podcaster. He won awards for his podcast from Nightcap and Club Shay Shay, and with this, I think when it comes to people they do want to interview. I think we're gonna see when it comes to this interview, when it comes to Club Shay Shay, I think we're gonna see a lot of interviews that we probably don't want to see no more because the people that he want to get, he can't get them because of the reputation. So, yes, Shannon, man, it's just I'm sad to see. I'm just very sad that you put yourself in this situation, and to all the people, podcasters, people that makes millionaires. Please do not do what Shannon Sharpe does because, you would lose the bag real quickly if you follow Shannon Sharpe's steps when it comes to, if you have so much money, you can do what you want to do, but it hurt him.
Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. All 60 of you guys, and also the 70 people right now watching us on Bingo Live, and also shout out to you right now watching us on TikTok. We really do greatly appreciate you guys tuning in on this vertical live. On this lovely Wednesday evening. Not that, but shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryan that's in the building. Thank you so much for being here. Jordan, what's going on with Kamala Harris not running for governor in California?
Yeah. So news came out today that people was anticipating if Kamala Harris will run for governor for next year. And she came out today saying she will not be running for governor of California for 2026. We do have a little clip, so go ahead, guys, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris just announced she will not be running for governor of California.
In a statement released a short time ago, Harris said she gave serious thought to running for several months, but she went on to say, quote, "For now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office. California will hold its gubernatorial election next year. The current governor, Democrat Gavin Newsom, cannot run again because of term limits in California."
Former Vice President Kamala Harris just announced she will not be running for.
Yeah, so like I said, she came out saying she's not running, and when it comes to when it comes to me here in the state of California, we're gonna see who will run next year. So go ahead, Money Man. What's your take on Kamala Harris not running for governor of California?
I knew she was not going to get, even if she would have ran, she wasn't going to get picked. Nobody really liked Kamala Harris. The only reason why Kamala Harris ran for pretty much the presidential election is because they didn't have anybody. The Democratic Party didn't have anybody to run at the time. So her trying to go for California, I knew it was going to be a bad call because Californians don't really like Kamala Harris not too much. Heck, they barely can stand Gavin Newsom, who is next year is trying to run for president. So they have well, California need is a good governor that was going to be able to go over there, change things around, able to fix things, fix the homelessness population, help downtown LA to get back into shape after that wildfire, and really shake things up. And you know, Kamala Harris was not former Vice President Kamala Harris was not going to be a great pick to be a California governor. I'm sorry. So I think she did a good job by taking herself out of the race. Go ahead, Akeem.
I'm going to have to second that. We don't need people with liberal views like that that's going to damage the fabric of society. She has put more people away in jail than I've ever seen. So the question is, who is going to come in line with our views to make the economy better and to give us more opportunity? We need a strong, either Republican or a Democrat, moderate conservative. I don't need you to fall too left or too right, but I didn't see Kamala Harris as an idea. We need a good Republican back in California. We needed to go red, like Florida is red, like Texas is red. We need that red. We need that whole state to be red. So hopefully y'all will hear my cries.
For me, I'm not surprised at all. It's just like this. Once she loses to Donald Trump, which she did, I think she was just done with politicians. I mean, look what Hillary. Look what Hillary. You know, when she lost to Donald Trump, we ain't heard for her. We ain't hear from her again. And I feel like with Hillary, with Kamala, it's still a fresh room to lose to Donald Trump, and I still she's feeling that growing pains of her not really want to go back to politician again. To me, I think she's done when it comes to the political stage. Because this is suffered that devastating loss against Donald Trump. It was a worse loss than Hillary Clinton. Because Trump he swept the all the states like the Swiss states. He swept all of them up and everything. So and also I think when it comes to other Democrats, I think the inside with the Democrats, I think the Democrats didn't want Kamala Harris to run, for governor anyways when it comes to California anyway. So, yeah, to me, like I said, I'm not surprised. I think we want to see Kamala write books and stuff, but for me, I think she's done with politics.
As she should. Moving along to other trending news, Jordan, what's going on with Cam Newton and Gilly and Wallow?
Yeah, so you guys don't know, Cam and Gilly are really going at it. How it started was Cam Newton, he named his top 10 quarterbacks, and he when it comes to Jalen Hurts, he was not his top 10 quarterbacks. When it comes to Cam Newton, and then Gilly responded and said, "Hey, my Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. What have you done? He didn't win a Super Bowl." So, Gilly believes, because he's from Philadelphia, he's a big Eagles fan. He feels like, Jalen Hurts is a top 10 or top 5 quarterback because, he went to 2 Super Bowls and won a Super Bowl. And he's getting on Cam and say, hey, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. You didn't win a Super Bowl. And then Cam responded back to Gilly and we will hear his response. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Jalen Hurts did what you couldn't do. That was win a Super Bowl.
There will not be no playing with my name, with my career. This is all entertainment here.
And shut your tight jean wearing ass up, man. You had on a jersey with a bow tie, you corny ass nigga. You will never be able to with Jalen Hurts, nigga. You super goofy, corny ass nigga.
I know why you in your feelings, Gilly. Was it the album comment? Can you name me one Gilly the Kid album? Damn. Did you know his album was Philadelphia?
That kind of struck a nerve.
Where I'm from, Gilly, we stab and we twist. Wise words was told to me, they say, when you go low, I go to hell. So let's bring up your actual facts and your actual stats. When I'm looking at your rap career, Gilly did not chart any solo singles on the Billboard Hot 100. Philadelphia didn't do no numbers? Dang. Former member of Major Figures, bass rap group late 90s and early 2000s. You ain't never been great at nothing. The only great thing that Gilly does, he's a great mascot. Big hat, dancing around, yeah, getting them going. Mascot, very questionable career. We can't relate on a lot of things, Gilly. And if it wasn't for Wallow, all credibility on $1 million worth of game will be really at question. Because he has a wisdom about him. Wallow, that is. I respect it. And I also respect Gilly. But, respectfully, brother, we cannot relate. While you're dancing on the sideline, I was in the game. Please understand, when I said your name, most people didn't know who you were. They said, who, Gilly? Who is that? Man, you know the dude that be walking around with the big old hat. Oh, that dude. Man, don't take him serious. That's the narrative about you, guy. You can't beat me in nothing. And I mean nothing. That's basketball, that's football, that's baseball, that's rock, paper, scissors, that's chess, that's checkers, that's tennis, that's golf. All I'm asking for is respect. But just be mindful how you use and you talk about me. But I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna subscribe to $1 million worth of game. I will be looking for your repeated response. And this is my challenge to you. Try to refrain from using the N-word in every sentence. Use your nouns and your verbs and adjectives, brother. Not just every word being a curse word.
Corny ass nigga. I knew that Jalen Hurts did what you couldn't do. That was win a Super Bowl.
So there you have it. They're going at it. When it comes to Jalen Hurts of being of not being a top 10 quarterback, get responded, and then Cam Newton responded back. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take?
Yeah, but he is speaking facts. So, well, both of them are speaking facts on each other. He never won a Super Bowl. And remember, he left the league very, very early. So he never even got a chance to win the Super Bowl. So because Cam, he goes in and he goes out. The last team he played for was New England. That was it. So Jalen Hurts is, to me, I think he's all going to be in the top 5 because he did have a Super Bowl under his belt, and Cam doesn't. Now, when it comes to Gilly, we already knew Gilly was not a good rapper. Everybody knew that. Even I can't do that. We knew, even though he tried to do a rap career, he knew it was not going to go that far. So at the end of the day, he's still a good podcaster. He got that mega deal, so he don't even need to focus on rap. So that's it. But they both taking shade at each other. Very, very hilarious. Now that shout out to Red Lipstick 5. That's in the building. Go ahead, Akeem.
So I want to say this. Everybody has a right to have their top picks. And Cam Newton ain't no different. And everything he said on that video was a flawless fatality. You can't tell a mascot to somebody who actually was in a Super Bowl game. He got the team to a Super Bowl game and lost to Peyton Manning. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Manning have never won a Super Bowl to that point. To that point. So when people start talking about, oh, you won a Super, there's a lot of great quarterbacks who've never won Super Bowls. So we're not going to test his athleticism and seeing that the man had stats before he put up until the game. You're not as good as the players you got as a quarterback. Gilly is only mad because Jalen Hurts plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but I'm not going to put him above Joe Montana and all the greats that came behind us, or my beloved Dan Marino. I'm from Dade. So but I'm still going to respect Cam Newton as my brother. He still is a phenomenal quarterback. He could have been had the Super Bowl with the right players. So Gilly, slow down, my brother. Slow down. At ease. At ease.
Yeah, when it comes to this back and forth and everything, Cam, like I said, he put his top 10. Jalen Hurts was his top 10 quarterback. Basically because since Jalen Hurts has so much talent, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown.
Oh my God!
That's one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Please repeat that again,
like
bro.
I said, the Philadelphia Eagles, they lead on running the ball instead of throwing the ball, and that's how they won a Super Bowl. Now, like I say, Jalen Hurts won his Super Bowl. Doesn't mean that he can win more, which he can be, And with the weapons that he have this year, we might see that maybe Jalen Hurts might throw the ball more. Maybe we'll see more of Jalen Hurts make big plays to his game and everything. Because a lot of people remember a couple years ago, when it comes to the MVP, I think it was 2 years ago. 3 years ago. He was second in MVP running and everything. So Jalen Hurts does have the talent. Will the head coach give Jalen Hurts the keys to let him do a little bit more with the offense and everything? Absolutely. So, well, like I said, Cam Newton say he doesn't have in the top 10. If Jalen Hurts win another Super Bowl this year, which was a possibility, and then win another Super Bowl MVP, maybe Cam might say otherwise. Say, hey, he did it. He won back-to-back Super Bowls, and now he's my top 10 and everything. To me, I think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the game right now, and I feel like if they open the offense a little bit more, you'll see more throw a touchdown against them as well. And like I said, Philly, they're still stacked, and let's see if they go to another Super Bowl.
Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Now that, guys, let us know what you think about the whole aspect between Cam Newton and Gilly and Wallow. Moving along to other trending news. Jordan, what's going on with this white couple harassing this black man in the neighborhood in Florida?
Yeah, so there was a video that went viral of a white couple hurled threats against a man. So they said that he was knocking at the door for, let me see, he asked for the, he was going to ask a question. He was knocking at the door and asked a question, and a woman opened the door, and then the woman called out the husband, came running out and furious. And so AJ said before he could get off the porch, they said the man started screaming N-words at him and yelling and get off the property and everything. So he put out his phone and started recording the white women, the man and the woman speaking racial slurs at him and everything. And now it's going viral right now. Let's go ahead, can you play the clip and let's chop it up.
So he's recording you. That's right, record me.
Take your black out of here.
Soliciting with a wrong person.
Take your black out of here. You f***ed up. Don't come cussing my board, motherfucker. Stay away from your phone. Get your ass beat, motherfucker.
Off my property.
Get the out of here. Record that. Come back and get him. Hang your
Good. I hope you show your employer. Show your employer, because this is what your employees do.
You dumb f***ing. It says no soliciting. Get your black out of here. You come back and get him. Hang.
Don't go over his house either.
He don't want nothing. It says no soliciting. Get your black out of here. You f***ed up.
You want him at your house? He's soliciting. Oh, he's recording.
Yeah, so the black man name's AJ. So they said he's a project manager, and he does upgrade things when it comes to the neighborhood. And I guess he was trying to knock on the door and had to have questions for the man and the woman, and apparently it went left. So go ahead, Ronnie. What's your take on this?
See, my thing is there's two sides to every story. He just got a camera of them fussing and cursing and this and that. Now, if they come out with their side of the story, because knowing those type of places in Florida, they have the cameras on their property, and they come out from a different point of view of him doing stuff that he's not supposed to be doing, then I won't be mad for them for going off. Now, of course, the racial slur, I'm always against that because, you don't disrespect somebody. The only thing you can ask to do is to get out of your property. You don't want to get off your property, you call the police. But we already know up north Florida, they don't play that. They don't play that. Up north Florida, nah. I'll stay away from that. Go ahead, Akeem.
Oh, I love this. This is healthy for America. I like when we see stuff like this so everybody else know that this ain't no fake stuff. We hate people here. People hate other people. And I want y'all to learn this at a young age. I want little black kids to learn that. They're going to hate you. So you know to stay away from these type of people. Stay away from their neighborhoods. Don't invest in their neighborhoods. Don't run for office in their neighborhoods. Let all the beautiful talent go elsewhere. Because let me tell you something. You lose when you don't have diversity. You lose. You're not advancing. If you have the same type of people in one place and they don't bring different ideas, fresh ideas, new cultures. So when I see people say, no problem, we'll leave you as your economy, your community die off. Up North Florida, been racist. Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Gainesville, racist with an R and an S at the end.
Don't forget about Ocala.
Ooh, Jesus. Oh, you remember that young sister we covered that they shot through the door? Bah.
Yep.
And the lady ain't go to jail. She's living her life. I pray Ocala get bankrupt. I pray the banks get emptied. I pray every racist business don't make a dollar. That's why Viva la Mexico. I'm Nicaraguan. I'm Haitian. I'm Jamaican all day.
Yeah, when it comes to these videos and, with this stuff going viral like this, with certain neighborhoods, not just in Florida, but around, certain rural areas and around other states in here, or other states in the United States of America. And to me, like I said, we don't know the full story, but the story is right about, them using racial remarks and everything. Now they're going viral. And to them, they go so viral enough that, people gonna do their information. They're gonna know what's your name, where you live, and where you work. And if you do work in a private company and the private company seeing this type of this, the private company is gonna let you go. If they both work in a private company or whatever and everything, they're definitely gonna let you go because since you go viral like this and everything, and they see you using racial remarks, they're gonna let you go. And hey, I'm kind of with you, Hakeem. If like I said, if you're a racist, you do all this stuff and stuff. Okay, cool. Hey, it's like I say, it doesn't hurt me. It just really hurts yourself because once you start doing that, there's consequences about stuff you say, especially using racial remarks. It's gonna and the consequences are gonna come to you, and it's gonna come to them and everything. So, like I said, I think we're definitely gonna know the full story maybe in a couple of days or so about who started first. So the man said, he's a project manager. He's going around neighborhoods, ask a question about updoing houses and everything. We don't know if he's saying anything wrong to uplift them, say racist remarks. But the thing is, if you did something, it still didn't have to go of them, the racial slurs against them. It had to go that far. And unfortunately, with them, they're plastered over the internet, and it's gonna hurt the white people in the long run. So. Yeah, to me, we see more of this. When it comes to people be racist, I'm all for it because when it comes to them doing that, they don't understand the consequences they put themselves in. Especially if somebody has a camera, they put you out there. Now you go viral. Now you need some deep water now.
Last topic on the day, Jordan. What's going on with this $600 tariff rebate check? Before we head up.
So when it comes to we had talked about the economy earlier in the show, and if the economy does well, Trump administration is thinking about sending off $600 tariff rebate checks to all Americans if the economy, if we start seeing the economy goes well. So we do have a clip. So go ahead, can you play the clip? We'll chop it up.
Tuesday morning, just about 6:45, President Trump has floated the idea of sending out $600 rebate checks to Americans. Some Republican lawmakers are backing this. So we want to go live to Scripps News Group national correspondent Joe St. George. And Joe, what are the odds that we actually get these checks?
Well, we're not going to be getting them anytime soon, at the very least. That's because the House is out till September. The Senate's about to be out. They're not canceling their August recess for this, but it's at least a conversation that's beginning in Washington. I think that's an appropriate way to put it. President Trump has floated it. A Republican senator, Josh Hawley of Missouri, has now officially introduced the legislation. So it's moving a bit along. Now we'll wait and see where the politics lies in all of this. I think the why matters here, because you may be wondering, well, where's the money coming from? It's coming from tariffs. You know, Bree and I, we've been reporting on tariffs so much the last few months, and the possible price impacts for your family or the store you go to. The reality is, well, the U.S. Treasury is getting a lot of money because of all of this. In fact, just looking at the numbers, in June, $27 billion flowed into U.S. Treasury accounts, basically, because of tariffs. For perspective, same time frame last year, only $4 billion. So just as if a business was making more money compared to where they were last year, you might think about giving raises to your employees. The thinking is here, well, maybe bring in the American people, give the American people a cut of all of this, especially since economists believe tariffs ultimately get passed along to all of us in the form of higher prices. Now to the fine print. If you make under $75,000, you would qualify under Senator Hawley's legislation for the full $600 amount. If you file your taxes jointly with your significant other, $150,000 would be the threshold. If you make more than that, you would receive a lower phased out amount eventually. The revenue could even, the tariff amount, $600, could actually even increase in the coming months, the legislation says, if more and more tariff revenue comes into play. As far as, well, children, they would count too. So the bigger family you have, the bigger check you could potentially receive. Again, potential, I think, is the key word here. There are a number of Republicans who are saying, wait a minute, why don't we start paying down the nation's debt or address the deficit with all of this? So not everyone's going to be on board, but we like to follow the money around here, don't we, Bree? We'll keep an eye on this throughout the month of August and September and see if this gains any steam or not.
Yeah, people will be following this one closely. Thank you, Joe St. George, with that update. Let's get back.
Yes, absolutely. So maybe this.
What's up, guys? It's Graham.
So maybe later this year we might see some checks coming by. We'll see. So, start with you, Ronnie. Do you think it's a good idea if it goes through to say tax rebates to U.S. citizens?
Yeah, it is a good idea. Put the money back into American people's pockets, and they're gonna be able to use that money and put it right back in America. That's how things go. That's called I forgot what it's called. It keeps everything flowing. It keeps the economy at bay when American people are able to have money in their pocket. And that's how we stay out of debt, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to the aspect of the national debt. The only reason why we have the national debt because people are not able to pay off their bills, their credit cards, medicals, and other expenses. So this will be used, that $600 will be used to pay off stuff like that for Americans that don't have the money to pay for it. So I think it's a great idea. Will it get passed? Of course, because the Republican runs the House. So whatever Donald Trump put at their table, they're going to go ahead and pass it. So shout out to that. I like the idea. I think it's a great idea. Go ahead, Akeem.
Brother, we've got to say he's doing things different than what everybody else. If the debt gets down and things start to leveling out, I don't want to hear everybody who called me a coon, a buck dang to Negro, a jigaboo. Everybody who say that, oh, you're not black, you support a monster. No, I'm supporting policies. I'm not supporting a person. You know what I mean? I'm gonna agree with policy. It doesn't matter if it's local, the federal level, whatever I align with or I find alignment with, that's what I'm supporting. But a lot of people have issues with that.
Yeah, so I think this is a good idea if keep get the debt down, get back to the American people. I think American people would love to see extra $600 that are in in their pocket, and if you have kids, it'll be the same. I think if you have I think it's like if you have a kid, it's $600 per child and everything for each kid that you have and everything. So we just, if that's the case, just hope that, you know, the debt keep increasing down. And if that's the case, later in this year, we might get that stimulus check hit our pockets. Because I know how people was feeling, you know, once, you know, we was around COVID. If you got the stimulus checks, you know, everybody was cool, you know, lovely and everything. And hopefully by the end of this year, we might see it and we'll be good again, you know, have a little extra $600 or more into our pocket.
There you have it, folks. Like I say, more money coming to your pocket. Follow the money. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody that was watching us all across the board. All 60 of you guys and 70 people that are watching us on Bingo Live. And shout out to the 5 people that are watching us on TikTok. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this lovely Wednesday evening. Guys, also very important, go to Cal Culture Radio description. In the description where you can find the KL Culture Radio store, where we have all the KL Culture Radio merch, the hat, the t-shirt, the coffee mug, you name it. It's all in the KL Culture Radio store. It's also pinned on top of the chat. And also, guys, it's also very important to go to KL Culture Radio community post or community tab, like some people will call it, where we have Prince Hakeem new book that's out right now, Raising King, and also his other book, Black Love, that's out now, and also his album. There's always a special shout out to Red Lipstick Vibe that was in the building. Shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryan that was also in the building as well. Shout out to Fatty, he came by on TikTok and then went ahead and left. You know, shout out to Y High. I know Y High probably watching us in the cloud. Shout out to all you guys that are watching us in the cloud. We really do greatly appreciate you guys. Shout out to that one kid subscriber who was watching us. Okay, I just said hello. I think his name was T. Shout out to him, man. Also in the building. West Ham, new subscriber, and also Mr. Beans that was also in the building. He also gave us 5 stars. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do greatly appreciate you guys. Shout out to Jay Villa Killer, who are watching us right now. Who are watching us on Instagram. Also, Mr. G also watching us on Instagram. Like always, thank you guys so much for tuning in on KL Culture Radio Wednesday evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow.